is basically send me
special magistrate hearing for building. Everyone in the room, please stand and raise your right hand if you wish to speak at today's proceedings. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank
I
you.
do.
Seated. Okay, our first case is on page 1, Inspector Bobby Mazzula. Property address 2301 Northeast 26th Street, number D1. Owner John R. Katsakis, Revocable Livable Trust. Susan G. Katsakis, Revocable Livable Trust. Case number CE 19090067. This case is has been continued from 4/15/21 hearing.
Good morning, Magistrate. Robert Masula, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating you on case CE 19090067. Property address 2301 Northeast 26th Street, D1. This code case was presented before the magistrate on April 15th, 2021. Per the magistrate's order, we performed another inspection of the property business on Wednesday, May 12th, 2021. Present with me during the inspection was the electrical chief, the plumbing chief, mechanical chief, all who are present today, along with another structural building inspector. It was confirmed and verified by all parties that the electrical and plumbing work and/or alterations were performed at this property. The property in the code case has also been reviewed by management, and I also reviewed the business tax records for this property. It was brought to my attention, and I am simply going to advise the business owner, if there are alcohol beverages being sold at this business, that they need to update and address their business tax license. I again reviewed our permit records for the property, and using both the address and the folio number for this property, which the folio is 494-225-170-080. There's no permit record for the electrical and plumbing alterations that were in fact performed at this property. Per the mechanical chief, a mechanical permit is required for the ventilation that is needed for this nail salon. There was a question and a challenge that this space property used to be a salon. Using the eGov archive, I did find a permit record related to this. Mamselli Poodle Salon, which was from 1968, is well over 50 years old, and in my professional opinion, has nothing to do with the work performed inside this commercial space today. Again, there's no permit record in our system to document the electrical and plumbing work alterations that were in fact performed at this property. The permit requirements will be a floor plan, which is basically to provide an as-built drawing. The minimum permit requirements will be for electrical, mechanical, and plumbing. During the course of the plan review process, there may be additional permit and/or plan review requirements. I would like to enter a display of the data photos taken of the property, enter them into evidence. I ask that the magistrate find for the city that the property owner is in violation, ask the magistrate to order the property owner to come in compliance, and I am prepared to negotiate a time frame and/or a fine of $50 a day thereafter. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
What do you want to tell me? I think the last time you were here, I had some confusion and the property owner wasn't before me.
Right, I
and-
have power of attorney, so I'm representing the property and the property owner and for what's going on at the location.
Okay,
The burden of proof falls on the city and especially the inspector. And having opinions and hearsay is no proof that anything has been done. This is all based on an opinion. There is no evidence that there's been anything additional added on. There is no plans. There used to be a salon there, whether it was 50 years ago or not, it's a plug in and go for me. So unless there's some sort of evidence that dates of when these things were put in, at what date, there's still no evidence that anything was done. So, I mean, there has to be some sort of verdict as far as today, and I'm just a little taken back because this is 2 years, this is 3 inspections. This is after I have an email from the director of the building department saying everything is cleared to go. This is after being sexually harassed by members of the building department and having every single outlet ignore me. At this point, I'm at my wit's end. So there's still no proof. These are pictures. And as far as my alcohol license, I have maybe about 4 emails from about 3.5 years ago stating that I will not be selling alcohol or even having it on the premises. So I guess they
That's
didn't
not
close it
before
out.
me right now.
Oh, well, no, I'm just
yeah.
saying, I mean, that's been closed out
Okay.
3.5 years ago. But I guess they just didn't update it.
Mhm.
So at this point, I'm either asking for the case to be closed or to have some sort of verdict so I can have the right to appeal.
Okay. Anything else?
Respectfully, Magistrate, I do want to point out, it's been questioned, my opinion. Okay, and I should have clarified in the first hearing, and I'll clarify today. It's my professional opinion. 52 years old, I'm a state licensed general contractor of 30 years. In order to become a building inspector in Broward County, structural, you need to be a general contractor. It's expected that you are to know permit requirements. I'm on the job 14 years as a structural building inspector. I'm a certified code officer for 7 years plus. So every fact, finding, and evidence that I presented before you is based on my professional experience and credentials.
If I have a moment, in the code enforcement section 11/13 hearing procedures in section I, the burden of proof shall be with the code inspector to show greater weight of evidence. Whether it's his professional opinion, there's no evidence.
Okay. Does the city attorney want to weigh in on it?
I don't know how. For the record, Rana Montoya Hassan with the city attorney's office, the one other than your honor in the room with a law degree. What we can do is we will bring up all of the chiefs to explain the findings on the May 12th visit. Obviously, as your honor knows, you've been sitting here a long time. You can't prove a negative. So there's no permits on file for the work that is evidenced.
But isn't that proving the negative? If it's not on file,
Yes, it proves the
proves
negative.
that the permit wasn't applied for. At least the
Correct.
greater weight of the evidence would suggest that.
Yes, ma'am. But if I could, we can bring up all of the chiefs and they can testify for your honor as to what was evidenced on the site visit in their particular area of expertise and what requires a permit that aren't permits in the city records. There's no permits.
I think that for the record, a brief statement by each of them as to what they found would be.
Could I just say one thing? There was
You-
also.
Please
on-
don't interrupt
sorry.
me. Okay, all right. I will, they're putting on their case now, and when they're done, you can say whatever
Okay,
you
thank
want,
you.
and I'll give you whatever time you
Thank
need.
you.
Okay. Done?
I would just also suggest, your honor, since allegations were made, certainly if there's validity to the statement made by the business owner, she should go to the police department and file a complaint for an investigation. Otherwise, to make an allegation like that is very slanderous in a public forum.
I did make statements and I contacted every single person, including the mayor and HR, and have emails to prove every single person that I contacted.
If you can just state your name for the record, your position, and explain what you found at the on the site visit.
Good morning, Enrique Salvador, Plumbing Chief, City of Fort Lauderdale. And I've been to that property twice. And I guess the first time I can say that, the piping was there for I guess the 2 shampoo bowls, you may call them or whatever, but the bowls weren't installed, the faucets weren't installed. And the other thing I noticed was that a bathroom was removed and a washing machine was installed. And at that time, I did notice that the opening for the water closet that was supposed to be there was still open. Other than that, I mean, we went back May 12th, I guess, and everything looked great. I mean, everything was installed, but was a permit required? I believe so.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir.
Tomas?
That guy wasn't.
You could just state your name for the record and your position with the city and then what you found. On the site visit, please.
Okay, my name is Tomas Perez. I'm a mechanical plan examiner in behalf of the chief mechanic. Okay, I went twice to this place too. We checked that the mechanical ventilation should be provided by method of supply and return on exhaust, except that mechanical ventilation requirement. Mechanical ventilation is required to all the nail station according to the Florida Building Code. That's it.
Thank you.
Same thing, chief. You can just state your name and your position with the city and what you found on your site visit.
Good morning. My name is Scott Dry. I'm the chief electrical inspector. I've only been there once. I went there May 12th, I believe it was last week. And Bobby had showed me pictures before that of some new wiring for the, I think their new stations. They're going up on the screen there. And a permit is required for that. If indeed they were new, that a permit is required for that. And there was a couple other pictures in here that he showed me of some new conduit, and they all do require permits for new installation.
All right, thank you. Okay, anything else from the city?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, floor is yours now.
Thank you. As far as the nail station, we're a salon, so we don't provide any type of acrylics or anything like that, which is well within my means to not have any ventilation, fans or whatnot. And as far as a bathroom being there before from the chief of plumbing, I can assure you there wasn't a bathroom there, as I have photos of the area prior to taking it over. But there's, what? Right.
Sir, if you're going to testify, you need
You need to state your name, please. Record. Yeah, just for the record, please.
My name's Daniel Jordan Elms. I was doing some of the minor painting initially when we first got the lease on the property. The bathroom is actually on the other side. There was never a bathroom there. It wouldn't make sense to have two bathrooms in a small little tiny area like that. So that statement is completely false.
I guess the only thing that we're asking is that you could see clearly that the space hasn't been altered. It says mechanical and alterations. Nothing's been done with that, but I still don't have any evidence of when these things were put up. So whether a permit needed to be open we just don't understand when the permit needed to be open because we have no idea how long it's been there to begin with. So we have no idea if it was built 50 years ago, if it was there for 40 years ago, when did the original permits needed to be open for something quite like this? There is just no proof. If I was an owner of a house and I bought a house and the inspector came by and said, there's an addition on the house that never had a permit. Usually there's some sort of aerial footage that can prove what the inspector is now making me have to pay. In my original documentation, and this is why it gets a little bit frustrating for me, is because I was told to pay for new HVAC and AC ductwork, okay, in the beginning. And if I didn't fight the way I fought, then it would have never came out that there was a permit for that. Just all of a sudden that this permit showed up. So now I don't have to pay for that, but I would have if I followed the corrective action plan from the very beginning. So I don't know if permits are disheveled or maybe they're just popping up little by little. But until I have some sort of proof of when this was put in, at what year and time, then I'm not responsible and neither is the owner.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
The only thing else I will add, Your Honor, is again, I've done extensive hours and hours of research on the permit history for this property. The last per se full set of permits for any kind of renovation, there's documentation back in 1981 that there was a fire at this space. And after the fire, during the course of September 1981 through August 1982, there was AC, electrical, and mechanical plumbing permits for work. Again, we're talking 40 years ago. The work the alterations that were done inside this space have recently been done. And I say recently, mind you, this code case is almost 2 years old.
Okay, so the premises existed in one fashion back in the 80s after the fire when new work was done, and that the premises has now changed with the addition of other things that require a permit. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. And if need be, I can point out other things in these pictures and give my professional opinion where I do believe this work was added and hence was added without permits.
Okay. Just a question for the city attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
To address. Is the burden on the city to prove what date the premises was altered?
No, ma'am. And thank you for asking the question. No, ma'am. As Your Honor has heard cases over the years, the city puts on the burden by showing the work that's been done without a permit, by sworn testimony that there's no permit on record. In this case, obviously we have the unusual added step that we have two chiefs and an inspector acting on behalf of the chief, all of which have visited the property at least once, if not twice, to verify that the work there would require a permit. There's no permit on file for that. It's immaterial as to when. Certainly there may be issues, not from the business, but the property owner, if it was a new sale vis-a-vis, right, the seller and the buyer. We hear that all the time, but you buy the property, you buy the violation. This property has not been a salon since the 60s. And if Your Honor wants to hear testimony about that, we can do that as well, but I can certainly proffer that testimony as an officer of the court that Anthony Fajardo is here, who's the director of the department. Again, the city has met its burden. Clearly the work evidenced in the photos was not done 30, 40 years ago. It was a different business at that time. Additionally, you did hear testimony from the plumbing chief saying that there was clearly work in progress. He saw it one way on his first visit, and it was a finished product on the second visit. So the city has more than met its burden in this case. We have obviously had a lot of manpower here today, a lot of manpower out in the field to go out and try to assist the business owner to come into compliance. They need to have a floor plan. They need to pull those 3 trade permits and get everything permitted. So we know that it's safe for occupancy. I would suggest, and I know the inspector said he had not put forward a date, but I would say under the circumstances that we ask for for compliance within 35 days. So we can at least get, some applications in and get the process moving.
Okay.
I have a question. Is Anthony Fajardo here?
I beg your pardon? Yes,
Is he
he's
here
right
today?
there.
I'm just wondering.
Would you
'cause-
like to ask him a question?
Yes, could I?
Sure.
I don't know where he is. Oh, there he is.
Good morning, Your Honor. Anthony Fajardo. I'm the Director of Sustainable Development of the City of Fort Lauderdale.
Good morning.
Sorry, Anthony Fajardo, I pronounced your
That's okay.
name wrong. I remember back about 2 years ago, I emailed the mayor and I had the city manager and yourself come to the property. And in my email, it stated that I was sexually harassed. And on top of that, I had some issues being lied to about a certificate of occupancy. And I also had Bobby Masula come on site and shut me down for painting. And I remember you emailed me along with Joe Piscarello, who addressed the certificate of occupancy. And then I also have an email from you saying we have everything cleared, which meaning everything that had to do with my email. So I'm just wondering why I'm now sitting here after my 3rd or 4th inspection over the same material that apparently had permits open in the 80s for it. And I'm just wondering whatever happened with that conversation.
So the discussion that we had was regarding the business tax. You had applied for a business tax and it was being held up because of work without a permit. Joe Pasquarello, myself, and the city manager went out to the site. We took a look at it. Joe made the determination that the business tax should not be held up because legally we can't do that anyway. So the emails were about the business tax. I sent an email to Joe probably not long after that in 2019. I can't remember the exact date, saying that as long as they meet the requirements for the business tax, we will issue it. It wasn't about the permits. The permits still needed to be dealt with. And so that's why we're here today.
So with all due respect, unfortunately, the reason why it was being held up wasn't because of the permits. It was because they wanted me to have a change of use. And in my email, it specifically says that. And in all my emails that I've had with the city prior to contacting Mayor Dean Trentalis, it was because of the change of use. I was told I didn't need a change of use. Therefore, I signed my lease. And then once I signed my lease, I needed a change of use all over again. That's when I went down and I met Andre Cross. That's when I got yelled at by 4 different members of the building department. And that's when I contacted Mayor Dean Trentalis. So the reason why I was being held up was because I was lied to about having a change of use permit. So after that happened, then Mr. Masula came out to shut me down for painting.
So just to clarify, there are 2 types of changes of use. One has to do with zoning, one has to do with the Florida Building Code. The email that I saw was regarding, I think it was confusion. I fully admit that. I think staff was misunderstanding what was trying to be said, but we tried to clarify it later on. There was an email from Jose Abin saying that you need to go to the zoning department and planning and ask them about change of use. There would be no change of use requirement for a salon under the zoning. However, the change of use that ended up coming up was about the Florida Building Code. So once you go from one use category, and I'm not a Florida Building Code expert, this is just my limited knowledge of it, and there's others here that can talk about it in more detail, but once you go from one use category, you go to another, that's a change of use under the Florida Building Code, different requirements, state statutes, not local municipal ordinance.
So I guess I'm so sorry. Can I
Okay,
speak?
that's okay. I'll give you one more final comment.
I
and then
appreciate
I'm
it.
gonna roll.
I just don't understand because in my email, it specifically broke down every single concern that I was having with the building department. It went from the sexual harassment, it went to being lied to, it went into Mr. Masula. And when I got your email, it said, we have everything taken care of, everything. And there was never a corrective action plan that you ever emailed me saying, but you still have to take care of this, Irene. Nothing was ever mentioned.
I believe it was communicated through the building department.
It wasn't because I
Okay.
didn't hear from
right.
anyone. Okay.
You'll
Yes, ma'am.
agree to disagree
Yes,
on that
ma'am.
point. The point of the matter is there's no business tax in front of me. There's no land use tax in front of me. And unfortunately, although I would never condone it in a million years, I can't hear a sexual harassment case.
Oh,
That's
I know
not,
that.
so, you have your rights with regard to that to pursue as you see fit. Did you want to add one more thing?
Please. Your Honor, I want to state for the record, there was something said that really is misleading, it slanders, and it decharacterizes the building department. When I was called by my supervisor, George Oliva, I believe it was on a Saturday, August 31st, that I was informed there was work being performed without permits. And that is why I originally went to this property from day one, when I took the pictures from the outside and I could clearly see through those windows the electrical work that was recently performed, that there was a vacant space that was in the process of a build out. And I did the stop work order at that time. So I don't want there to be any confusion or misleadness that there was one issue and there was some vindictiveness that caused us to go do a stop work order. That is not true at all.
I
Thank you.
didn't allude to that. I was
All right,
clearly saying.
one
it was
more
just
word on
issues.
it and then I'm going to roll.
No, I don't have to.
Because I gave him a chance, I'll give you
No,
a
no,
chance.
you're fine. I don't really, I said everything that there
Okay.
is needed to say.
All right. This is my ruling. I think there is sufficient evidence in the pictures, et cetera, that this is not old wiring, et cetera. I think I've heard sufficiently from the department that these improvements require a permit. I believe that I accept the testimony that a search of the permits were had and that there are no permits on file. while this is not your responsibility, you're not the property owner. It does not matter that we do not know when the improvements were made. What matters is that they were made without a permit. And the importance of that is that with the permit, you get inspections, and the public at large can be assured that when they come into your establishment, that they are safe to do so, because electrical's been checked, plumbing's being checked, et cetera. I don't believe it is an unfair burden on the property owner to get these permits. So I am going to order that the permits be gotten. Now, I will, be a little bit lenient if 35 days is, Inspector, how long realistically will it take them to get these permits?
Your Honor, I'm going to respect the city attorney's position. To answer your question first, and I want to clarify to the business owner, they might not basically believe this, all right? But the building department, me talking with the assistant building official and the respective chiefs, there's still leniency and courtesy being given. And let me clarify that. What we are not requiring is per se a general contractor acting as a master. To the best of my knowledge at this time, we are not requiring plans signed and sealed by an architect or engineer. Now, let me clarify. Should that possibly be questioned or challenged in the course of plan review, I have no control over that. The courtesy that we are extending is to allow the business owner, property owner, to basically hire and consult with a licensed electrician, licensed plumber, licensed mechanical, and between those three trades, let them decide who's per se going to take the lead in getting the permits and coordinating the permit process, and then basically dealing with somebody that is more or less competent as a drafts person. We're not asking for a full-blown set of plans. We're asking for a floor plan that's going to give basic dimensions, a basic area of the work that was performed. And I can only suggest to the property owner that they be forthcoming and properly address and permit and have inspected the work that has been performed. Because what we don't want to happen is they get a permit for ABC, and later on, when the permits are issued, inspections are taking place, and the inspector, the field inspector for electrical, mechanical, plumbing goes out and says, wow, you permitted the sink, but here's a tankless water heater. Okay, you permitted a couple electrical boxes on a wall, but there's electrical running to a tankless water heater or electrical running to a dryer. Yes, the mechanical system, AC system, yes, has been permitted. That's not a violation before us. And what I've addressed was the fact that the mechanical chief, when he was there on May 12th, said, wow, this is not just a hair salon. They're doing nail work. We could smell the odor, and there was nobody even in there. Okay, no work was being performed. The odor lingers, but a nail salon per building code requires proper mechanical ventilation, hence requires a mechanical permit. So I'm sorry to get back to your question, Your Honor. There's leniency being given. I am of the opinion that within 35 days, that's a reasonable amount of time for them to come back to us and demonstrate positive progress towards compliance. And I would respectfully request of the staff that we have this case, if needed, come back on the docket in 35 days to demonstrate if positive progress towards compliance is being made, to give an extension at that time. And as long as they work towards positive progress towards compliance, I'm willing to work with them and give an extension if and when needed.
Okay, there's no hearing in 35 days.
Oh,
There's a
sorry.
hearing in 28 days, and there's a hearing in 56 days if you want them to come back.
City attorney would agree with 28.
It's up to you. I was reading that.
I'll take it a step farther, Your Honor. Let's go for 56 days.
Okay. All right. I think that that's fair. And
And I have the right to appeal, correct?
I can't give you legal advice, but you certainly have your rights. I would consult, legal counsel on that. I'm just
I will.
not permitted to give you legal advice.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
I just didn't know if I had to have it on record.
Okay, 56 days or $50 a day and notice to reappear? Or is 56 days okay without a notice?
I don't think we need a notice to reappear. It was just if an extension was needed.
Okay,
we'll resend it
56
next-
days, and that should give you time if you choose to seek legal counsel or to get the permits done.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 24. It's a hearing to impose fines. Property address 1711 Northeast 9th Ave. Inspector Jose Sadagusti. Owner Roderick Todd Landry. Case number BE 200-60091. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting the full amount, which continues to accrue.
Good morning.
Good morning. Inspector Saragusti on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. The case is not in compliance and I would like to hear the property owner.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Roderick Landry.
Good morning, Mr. Landry. How are you
I'm
today?
doing well.
Good, good. Why is it taking so long for the permit? Give me,
Sure. I think it's just I think this is a much simpler case than what you just had. I think it's just a little bit of confusion probably on my part. I've been in contact with the prior homeowners and who actually did the install. I purchased the house afterward. So I wasn't aware of the permit issue whenever I actually did the purchase of the house back in 2014. So this is a dated construction. I've been speaking with the inspector, Jose, throughout the process as this is going on. My confusion, I think, was that the issue was corrected or nullified and ended. I don't, obviously, since I'm here, I concede, I think that's probably inaccurate. The paving company, which is Signature Design Pavers, I've been speaking with them as well. They came out and took a look at it and I think agreed with Jose, the inspector, that given either the new or whatever the regulations are, that it is in violation. Again, it's something that I purchased the house as is. It's still in great condition. There's no sidewalk. So I was confused as to what the actual violation was. The only thing I heard was that the grass was too tall and I didn't understand what that meant. But again, I spoke with Jose and he explained it to me. So I'm aware of what it is. I talked to the paver company and they're going to come out and get it to whatever the new code is. Again, this is just, it's kind of catch up for me because I was out of town on work assignments, but
okay.
I'm back now. And
How much time do you need?
so I spoke with the paving company. He's going to come out on Friday and do another inspection and give me an estimate on how much to, I mean, whatever it takes to fix it. I think my understanding is something about a swale issue where I have to raise the end of the driveway up, I think. Happy to
Well,
do that.
what I
if that's-
have in front of me is that pavers were installed without a permit.
Correct.
So can you explain to him what he has to do to comply this violation?
They need to reopen the permit and request the inspections. This is a must say. For that one, I recommend, the city is recommending to stop the fines and asking the owner to come in compliance in 42 days.
Okay,
I think that seems reasonable, Your Honor, for me.
okay, yes. I think that'll work for you. And, you know, you can get the permit reopened and the inspector will come out and maybe you're not in compliance, maybe you are, maybe there's, but they'll explain to you what you need to do to pass inspection.
Certainly. May I ask one question to the inspector?
Sure.
Is it the fact that it is absolutely out of compliance, or do you have to inspect it first to determine that it's out of compliance?
The building inspector, when the permit is reopened, they need to perform the final inspections.
Yeah,
Well,
so
once the-
I
once the
wouldn't go
permit's open.
doing any work on it till the inspector comes out. Isn't that reasonable?
Yeah,
So you know exactly
Okay.
if or
Right.
what the
Okay,
violation.
sure. Because like I said, I spoke with the paper company. They came out and took a look at it and they think that given the new requirements that it needs to be raised slightly. But again, I would just like to confirm before I pay all the money to
Yeah,
fix
I would,
it.
you know, I
what
think
exactly
what he's
that is.
suggesting to you is to reopen the permit, call for the inspection. The inspector will tell you whether it's in compliance or not, and what you have to do to fix it.
I understand.
Okay,
Okay.
42 days.
Okay, got it.
All right, we'll suspend the fines during that period.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
thank you.
Our next case is a hearing to impose fines on page 24. Inspector Jose Sadagusti, property address 1815 Southwest 4th Street, owner Andrew Truesdell, case number BE 200600124. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Inspector Saragusti on behalf of the city presenting the case. The case is in compliance and the city is recommending an administrative cost to be imposed of $166. The permit is issued.
Okay. Sir, please state your name for the record.
Andrew Truesdell.
Are you in agreement with the city who's requesting the fines be waived and just charge administrative costs of $156?
Sounds great to me.
Sounds good to me too. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to clarify, Inspector, you said the case is in compliance, correct?
It's in compliance.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, in compliance. Thank you very much.
Okay, our next case is on page 7. One second, I'm sorry. Yes. Our next case is on page 7. Inspector Alexander Abores. Property address 4710 Northeast 30th Terrace. Owner Haiti L. Kozik. Case number CE 200600918. This is a new business case. Notice posted at the property on 5/3/21. Posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
You want to sit here? Would you have to?
Good morning, Haiti, Scott, and Lorenzo.
Morning.
Morning. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Inspector Alexander Arbores for the city presenting case and address as read. I initially visited this property March 22nd, 2021 to investigate a work without permit complaint. I met with complainant who granted me access to the rear other property and informed me that the owner of this property, 4710 Northeast 37th Avenue, had performed work and made changes to their wood dock without permit. During this inspection, I observed that recent structural modifications to existing wood dock had been done, photos taken and attached. Additional research comparing BCPA 2020 aerial photos show wood dock was modified and new piling were installed, wood piling. The property was cited for work without permit, Florida Building Code 2020, Section 105.1. This case was open June 22nd, 2020. Inspection report mailed to the property owner June 23rd, 2020, with 30 days to get into compliance. Dock Civil Permit BLD-BD SP-2009-0033 was applied for on September 18, 2020. There has been comments as of January 19, 2021 that has not been addressed. Permit status remain awaiting client reply. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violations exist and grant the property owners 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Who would like to speak on behalf of the property owner?
So I'll be speaking first on behalf of Haiti.
Okay,
So
let
first
me
I'd like to, oh, go ahead.
just ask you a question. If the 63 days that they're requesting is enough time, or where you stand on that?
I believe that it is enough time, yes.
Okay. Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance during that time?
I do agree, yes, but we also have another point to make if possible.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So first I'd like to give some background on the situation. As Inspector Alvarez said, first the property close to the owners north, they first sent a letter to the owners saying that their dock was encroaching on their property, so the pile was moved, which is where the property was cited for work without a permit, like Inspector Alvarez said. The neighbor of Haiti's property, they sent another letter saying that the dock was still not out of their property. So a survey was made by Scott McLaughlin, he's a surveyor, proving that it was in Haiti's property. The survey was submitted along with a set of plans signed and sealed by an engineer when the permit was opened. It went through the review process. Structural, electrical, plumbing was all approved, and there's only still a zoning comment, which is the one that's still not addressed, like Albert said. And that's the one that we'd like to talk about. Scott could explain the whole situation better. So in terms of the zoning comments, so I think we'll take it to him.
Okay, Mr. McLaughlin.
Yes, Your Honor. Scott McLaughlin, McLaughlin Engineering Company, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, licensed surveyor and mapper. We were contacted by Ms. Kozik to prepare a survey on her property, locate the dock, and give the riparian lines that they are allotted by state law. We did this, showed her that the dock she had previous was over the line. The one that she's now constructed is within her riparian line. And she then got a letter from the city, or got a comment from the city zoning stating that it was still within the setback of the riparian line. And I don't believe it. As a professional surveyor and mapper, I do riparian lines all the time. I have emails back and forth from Muhammad Malik saying that the property lines have to extend straight from the property lines out, and they do not necessarily do that. And that's per the Department of Environmental, FDEP, I'm sorry. The lines don't always extend straight into the and out from the property lines, and they do not in this case.
Okay.
Mr. Malik stated that the ULDR says that it has to go straight out into from the property lines, and the code section that he's citing is about watercraft dockage. It has nothing to do with the dock. So I think maybe he's misreading it. But yeah, the riparian line is a riparian line. Ms. Kozik's dock does not extend over the riparian line as it sits now. And that's my case.
Okay. All right. Ms. Kozic, did you want to add anything? Ms. Kozic?
No, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Anything else from the city?
No, basically what the gentleman is saying, he needs to address that with our plan reviewers. The case is for work without permit, and as of now, it remains, there's not a permit issue.
Okay. 63 days or $50 a day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 23. property address, I'm sorry, Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, page 23, property address 1035 Northwest Fifth Ave, owner Caleco Corp. Case number CE 16021754. This case was first heard on 7/28/16 to comply by 9/8/16 and 1/24/17. Two sections comply at $100.
Good morning, Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio for the city. This case is already in compliance. We have some fines that need to be addressed. I'm gonna let the property owner speak.
Okay, it says here that the city is requesting $550 for administrative costs, I assume?
I would agree with that, yes.
Okay.
Mr. Kellier, can you, hi, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Kelly, are you willing to accept the city's recommendation to reduce the fines from $38,800 to administrative costs of $550?
I'm in agreement.
Pardon me?
I agree.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You as well.
Thank you. Our next case is on page 17. Chief Inspector George Oliva, property address 844 Northwest 10th Terrace. Case number BE 200-60038. Notice posted at the property on 4/29/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21. Inspector Mary Rich presenting on behalf of Inspector George Oliva.
Good morning, Your Honor. Enforcement Officer Rich presenting on behalf of Chief Building Official George Oliva. Case and address are as read. The violation is the required 40 or 10-year safety inspection report has not been approved. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. McCall, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, I swear.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance by submitting that report within 42 days?
Can I have a little more because I'm overseas. I'm in Lebanon at the moment. I won't be back till like June 1st. I arrived June 2nd actually. And I'm already, received the letter actually while I was here. I've never been aware of it till recent. Actually, I've been aware of it. I'm not gonna lie, about 6-7 months ago, but kind of forgot about it. But yes, I can bring it, but can I have about 60 days, please?
Borough requirements only allow for the maximum 42 days to submit the report. So
The report inspection, I need.
To submit the report, and then you'll have time to conduct the repairs afterwards, but 42 days to submit the report.
Yeah.
What is the report? What is the report saying that I'm gonna comply?
No, could you explain to him what he needs to do as far as filing the report?
I can, Your Honor. So, sir, you need to have an architect or an engineer go and inspect the building and evaluate it and prepare a letter directed to the building department that either says that the structural and electrical elements of the building are fine and the building is safe for continued occupancy, or that architect or engineer would identify repairs, and then those identified repairs would be listed in the letter that would be submitted to the building official.
Okay, so it's similar to the one we done when.
You need the signed and sealed letter first.
Yes, okay, so it's similar to the letter that we did it when it was over 40 years old, correct?
Yeah, correct. That's
Yes.
correct. This is what
We
you,
did.
right.
All right, very good. That's I think it's sufficient enough. 10 days, I have 30 days to do it after I arrive. 20 some days after I arrive, basically back home. Yeah, I think I can do it by then.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye. All right.
Thank you. Our next case is on page 14. Property address 845 North Federal Highway. Case number BE 200504005, owner 831-845 North Federal Highway LLC. Notice posted at the property on 4/29/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Good morning, Your Honor. Enforcement Officer Rich presenting on behalf of Chief Building Official George Oliva. Case and address are as read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is requesting the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report within the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Hi, Mr. Bagley, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Bagley, can you comply the property by submitting the report within 42 days?
Yes, I just want to make sure I'm understanding one thing. So we just need to submit the report. We don't have to have the repairs completed within the 42 days?
That's correct. Once the
Yeah,
report's
Absolutely, we can have that done.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One moment before I call the next case. Eric Temple.
Hello?
Hi, Eric.
Hi.
I see that you registered for case number CE 200500258. That case has been closed.
Okay, I was under the impression both of them were, and that's why I'm here, because I feel I have trust issues.
Okay, well, the one ending in 0258 is closed. The 0371 case, that's a case on the regular code enforcement side. So you don't have to contact them for that.
Okay, I did. They said they closed it, but
So they said they're closed, and I'm 100% sure they did.
okay, so in other words, you're saying that I don't have any I just want to make sure, like I said, I have trust issues, so I need to be clear that these cases are closed. So you're saying just the one still contact the guy and, or I'm sorry, you don't know about
0371, I don't have anything to do with that case. That's the regular code enforcement side, but 0258, that one is closed. So you
Okay,
can get off for today. You don't have to continue to stay on.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
So thank you. Bye-bye. Our next case is on page 12. Property address, I'm sorry, 1 second. Yeah. Property address 1303 Southeast 17th Street. Owner Southport Retail LLC, in care of Principal Real Estate Investor. Case number BE 2005008. Notice posted at the property on 4/30/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez, presenting on behalf of Chief Oliva. Case number and address as read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Hi, Ms. Basket, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Basket, can you bring the property into compliance by submitting the report within 42 days?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bye.
Our next case is on page 11. Property address 2017 Northeast 18th Street. Owner Loggerhead Gardens LLC. Case number BE 200400172. Notice posted at the property on 5/5/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez, presented on behalf of Chief Oliva. Case number and address as read. The required 40-year or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Lanigan. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you
Yes,
swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
yes, I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Lanigan? This is Magistrate Flynn, are you able, and can you bring the property into compliance by submitting the report within 42 days?
Absolutely. The report was received yesterday. It took the post office 10 days to deliver, even though I had certified return receipt priority mail. The inspection was concluded in October, I think October 30th of last year. And I had some family sickness issues and stuff. So I went up for my mom and I forgot about it. And then I got the notice, the hearing, and I said, oh God, I got to send this thing in. And so then I sent it on the 6th, the 7th, wait, the 6th. And I think the 7th was a Saturday. So that was the day it was supposed to be delivered. And then I guess maybe it was delivered or the government wasn't open. And so nobody accepted delivery, but now I've sent it. And then I did make a mistake though. I didn't include the payment. And yesterday I paid $300 online through the city's website.
Okay, all right. So 42 days did you want to say something else?
Yeah, the report is going to be reviewed by Chief Oliva. It's in process right now, Your Honor.
All right, so it's
42 days.
It's in process, and so we're going to give you 42 days, give the city a chance to do their part of it, and we should be able to close this out for you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bye-bye.
Our next case is at the bottom of page 11. Property address 2200 South Ocean Lane. Owner, Point of America's Condo Apartments 2, Inc. Case number BE 200-40355. Notice posted at the property on 4/30/21. Posted at City Hall 5/6/21. Alex, I have about 4 people signing in for this one. So let me swear them in first, please. Everybody's there? Oh, no, hi. Okay. Hi, good morning, Christina, Mark, hi, and Michael. Can you all please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Inspector.
Inspector Alvarez, on behalf of Chief Oliva, presenting case and address as read. The report was submitted but failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. So when the initial report was submitted, it required repairs, and the 180 days have been up. And so we are requesting for the owner to submit a new report within 42 days.
Who's speaking first on behalf of the property owner?
I will, Your Honor. Mark Stempler of the law firm Becker and Polikoff on behalf of Point of America's Condominium Apartments Phase 2, Inc.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. We did submit the 10-year recertification report back in October. It did identify some deficiencies, and the association is now working diligently to correct those deficiencies. Point of America has about 300 units. It's been a landmark in the city for decades. The association has been reviewing the scope of work with its design professionals and has been looking for the right contractor to complete the work, which has to do with balcony railings and some concrete spalling. The association has selected a contractor, and we expect the contract to be signed within days and work to commence immediately. In fact, the association has already begun performing some corrective work in the mechanical room roof structure under a permit that's already been issued by the city. So we have been in contact with the city and working toward a solution. Unfortunately, Your Honor, COVID had presented some problems with the building. Condominium protocols had kept contractors out for most of 2020, but now that restrictions are lifting, the association has a greater ability to accomplish that. So we can comply with what I believe the city is asking, which is to provide another 42 days to, I guess, submit another report, though I want to be clear as to what is expected in that regard because, you know, our report has already been issued.
Okay, can you explain to him what this new report that he has 42 days to comply with?
Yes, ma'am. So, okay, so if additional time is required, this city is requesting for the professional qualified engineer to provide that request in writing, requesting additional time, and so that another additional 180 days may be or accepted rather.
Okay, Mr. Stempler, do you understand? He wants an engineer to write a report asking for additional time.
A request, yes, a letter making the request, and it's got 42 days to provide that letter, and then 180 days will be extended.
Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Anyone else want to say anything, or can we end here?
Have a great day.
You too.
Okay.
Thank
you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 16. Property address 3200 West Broward Boulevard, owner A&M Investments of America LLC, case number BE 200504113. Notice posted at the property on 4/29/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Good morning, Enforcement Officer Rich presenting on behalf of Chief Building Official George Oliva. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection report has not been approved. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Hi, Mr. Fonte. You can hear me, right? Yeah, we can't hear you. We cannot hear you. Okay.
Mr. Fonte, if you're connected via audio, via telephone, please press *6 to unmute.
*6.
Yes, we can hear you
There
now,
we go.
sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay,
Yeah,
please.
sorry, I hit #6 by mistake.
Please raise your right
Thank-
hand. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Fonte, how are you this morning?
I'm well. Thank you for allowing me to join the meeting in short notice. I met with Mr. Hamad 2 days ago. My name is Jesus Fonte. I'm Vice President of Operations for Crane Atlantis. We are an architect engineering firm located in Deerfield Beach. We're an all-inclusive firm, so we have architects, mechanical, electrical, structural, environmental, plumbing, 2 GCs, and electrical contractor on staff. Mr. Hamad reached out to us regarding the 10-year recertification through a mutual friend, another architect who did the original 40-year and is no longer providing the service, so he referred us. Like I said, I met with Mr. Hamad on site. I've walked the property. I've gotten a preliminary look at what's going on there, and I understand what you need. And we have no issue providing a report in 42 days.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 17. Property address 1309 East Los Olas Boulevard, owner PDKNP-7 LLC, case number BE 200600059. Notice posted at the property on 5/3/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Enforcement Officer Rich presenting on behalf of Chief Building Official George Oliva. Case and address are as read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Good
Morning, Ms. Crush. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Crush. How are you today?
I'm well. Good morning, Your Honor.
Is your
Courtney
claim-
Crush, on behalf of the property owner, we would appreciate the 42 days to submit the report.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Bye.
Our next case is on page 21. Property address 3909 North Ocean Boulevard. Owner, Top of the Mile South, Inc. Case number CE 19080430. Notice posted at the property on 4/20/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21. Lazaro Prieto. Hi, Mr. Holodeck and Ms. Prieto, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
I do. Thank you.
Inspector Alvarez on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. There was a report submitted over 180 days ago, which required corrections. If additional time it's required, the engineer of record needs to make the request, requesting the additional 180 days if corrections are still required.
Mr. Holodak?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. As the inspector said, the report was submitted. There were two issues left, some GFI breakers and smoke detectors. The association has hired and signed contracts to have both of those completed. If the city needs just a letter from us extending and asking for 180 days, we'll be happy to submit that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Our next case is on, page 1. Inspector Hector Suarez. Property address 1342 Bayview Drive. Owner Craig Samara. Case number BE 2103-0050. Notice posted at the property on 4/27/21. Posted at City Hall 5/6/21. This is a new business case.
Good morning, Inspector Suarez presenting case as read. Property was inspected on March 16, 2021, and the following violation was observed. 28-155 parentheses A. The existing fire backflow prevention device has not been tested for the subsequent recertification as per the City of Fort Lauderdale Municipal Code of Ordinances. CCN 6Q57-L3LA. Final notice was mailed to the owner listed in BCPA on March 17, 2021. As a pre-hearing inspection on May 14, 2020, violation remains per BSI online. The city is requesting 42 days or $50 per day thereafter for violation.
Mrs. Samara, can you please start your video?
I can't start my video. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, can you please raise your right hand
Yes.
and state your name for the record?
My name is Craig Samara.
Okay. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Samara, can you bring this property into compliance within 42 days by having the property tested for the recertification?
I can, Your Honor.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 9, property address 436 Southwest 8th Ave. Inspector Jorge Martinez. Case number CE 201-20122. Owner Robert C. Swindle. Notice posted at the property 5/4/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21. Hi, Ms. Rathburn.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and you? Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to new pavers in driveway. I reviewed the case on 5/17/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Morning, Ms. Rathburn.
Good morning. This property is the home of my client and his husband and his 87-year-old mother-in-law. And the mother-in-law had issues walking on the, if you just go back, you'll see that can you go, yeah, that picture? That shows the brick that was there originally. And what they did is she was not steady on her feet. She uses a walker. And so they were worried that she was going to fall. So they wanted to have the bricks replaced. And they hired someone to do that. And they said, oh, you don't need a permit because we're just replacing bricks. It's a repair, not new construction. So, and they were talking about bringing the bricks all the way out to the street. And the guy that they hired said, no, you can't do that because then you will need a permit and it'll be a big deal. You need to keep the P-rock that's there. So following the contractor's advice, they replaced brick, straightened out brick, whatever. But they did not believe at the time they needed a permit. So it wasn't new construction. It was a repair and an upgrade of what was apparently previously there.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
No.
Okay. Apparently they got bad advice. And so they need to apply for that permit within the next 35 days or face a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Can we get more than 35 days? You know how it's really tough these days finding anyone that will even, talk to you about drawing plans.
The city will not post for more time.
Okay. All right. How much time do you think you need?
Can we get 60 days to get plans?
Yes.
It'll be 63 days by my calendar.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Rathburn.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate your help. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Order for that?
$50 a day thereafter.
Our next case is on page 25. Property address 505 Northwest 8th Ave. Inspector Jorge Martinez. Owner Nor Development Group LLC. Case number BE 200-40401. This case was first heard on 2/18/21. To comply by 4/1/21. One section complied at $50. Hi, good morning. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
Can you repeat the address, please?
505.
Okay, thank you. Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number as read, this case is in compliance. It's the position of the city for the fines to be waived.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you please state your name for the record?
Fernanda Pexoro.
Okay, and I'm assuming your agreement with no fines.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 25, property address 1218. Wait a minute, that's not on 25. Hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's on page 26. Our next case is on page 26, property address 1218 Southwest 20th Street. Case number BE 200-50351. Owner Heather S. Kaminsky. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting a 63-day extension. Hi, Ms. Kaminsky. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do. I apologize. I have a sick toddler next to me crying.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you can go ahead and mute it and just listen. Thank you.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number as read, this case is not in compliance. The city is requesting for a 63-day extension and the fines to be stopped.
Okay, Ms. Kaminsky,
Yes.
are you in agreement with the 63-day extension?
Yes.
Okay, hope your baby feels better.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. Our next case is on page 9. Sorry about that. Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 2941 Southwest 13th Court. Owner Veronica Galvez, case number CE 200-90232. Notice posted at the property 4/23/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21. This is a new business case. Hi, Ms. Galvez.
Hi, I couldn't hear anything that you said.
Okay, can you please raise your right hand? Hello? I
Yes.
can't see you. Your video is, there's something in front of it.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to a new wood fence. I reviewed the case on 5/17/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Good morning, Ms. Galvez. How are you?
Good morning.
Are you in agreement with bringing the property into compliance by getting that permit within
Yes,
30?
it's already in the works.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 23.
We know what he thinks of me.
One moment. Yes, 23. Our next case is on page 23. Property address 50 Isle of Venice. Case number BE 200-40034. Owner 50 Isle of Venice LLC in care of John A. Brown. This case was first heard on 12/8/20 to comply by 1/19/21. One section not complied at $50.
Good morning, Inspector Saragusti on behalf of the city presenting the case as read. The case is not in compliance and the city, the owner is here, Tasha?
Yes, one moment. Hold on, Mr. Brown. We're gonna pull in Ms. Gomez as well. Mr. Brown, can you please unmute? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Hello,
Hi, Mr. Brown, can you raise your right hand?
yes,
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Gomez, can you please state your name for the record? Press *6 to unmute.
Hi, this is Michelle Gomez.
Hi, Michelle, do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
The owner is working in a new project for this property. The case is not in compliance, but he are working and submit the drawings to the city. For that one, the city requesting 63 days extension and stop the fines.
Okay, who's speaking on behalf of the property owner? Ms. Gomez or Mr. Brown?
I'm the property owner, Your Honor, and I accept that. The inspector's been very helpful in working with us on this. I appreciate it very much.
Very good. Thank you so much, Mr. Brown. So you'll have a 63-day extension and I will stop the fines during that period.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I knew the inspector.
Our next two cases are on page 4, new business cases. Property address 520 Southeast 5th Ave, 1408. Owner Kypros Holdings LLC in care of Morrison Brown and Argis ATT Raul. Case number CE 21050023. Inspector Jose Saragusti. Notice posted at the property on 5/6/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21. Your Honor, you want me just to read both of them at the same time? One is a.
Yeah, you can read them both.
Okay. Also, case number BE 21050009. Property address 520 Southeast 5th Ave. Oh, but it's two different owners.
Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presenting case number CE 21050023. Property address 520 Southeast 5th Avenue, unit 1308. Inspector Carrasquel visited the property on Monday 4th, 2021. Post-tension cables were exposed in the slab balcony over the apartment. Notice of unsafe building were posted. The code violation 9-280B for general maintenance requirement. The case was opened on May 4, 2021. Notice of hearing was mailed on May 6, 2021. Notice of hearing was posted on May 6, 2021. Inspection report received by the property manager on May 7, 2021 from Banker Engineering, attesting that the structure is stable and there is no danger of any immediate failure. We are asking the magistrate to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come in compliance or a fine of $100 per violation per day thereafter.
Has this witness been sworn?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Hi, Mr. Fast, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear in the firm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you.
That's okay. Mr. Fast, are you willing to bring this property into compliance within 63 days as requested by the city?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll have a finding of fact that the violation exists and it will be brought into compliance within 63 days or face a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
Okay,
All right, thank you very much, sir.
thank you.
No, that's a ruling for both cases, right? Right.
For both, yes, correct. The other case is the BE 21050009.
Right. So
Proper,
that was a ruling for both. We were just clarifying over here. I'm sorry.
Yes.
okay,
That's the ruling.
thank you.
Our next case is on page 4. Property address 5895 Northeast 22nd Ave. Owner Robert M. Connors. Case number BE 200800092. Notice posted at the property 5321, posted at City Hall 5621. Excuse me.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, present the case as read. The case is already closed on May 18, 2021.
Oh, the case is closed?
Yes,
Mr. Connors, I apologize you had to wait so long. The case is closed.
Okay, thank you.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Good morning, Pierre Petit Frere. If you could please unmute your microphone.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, Mr. Ferrer. Can you please start your video? Oh, he doesn't have video. Okay. Can you please state your name for the record?
Pierre Petit Frère.
Okay, I'm sorry. We need a copy of your ID.
I emailed it to you.
Okay, I haven't received it yet. Okay, we're gonna put you back in attendee mode until I get the copy of the ID, okay?
I emailed it off my phone.
To ta.williams@fortlauderdale.gov.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, I haven't received it.
So what would you like me to do? Email it again?
Please.
Okay, I'm doing that now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Our next case is on page 22. Property address 35 North Federal Highway. Her first name is Michael. Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 35 North Federal Highway. Case number CE-200100003. Owner Pavilion Limited in care of Amera Properties, Inc. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting the full amount, which continues to accrue. Hi, Mr. Rayo, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Martinez, represent on behalf of the city. Case and address as read. I was contacted by the property manager, Michael. He always been in touch with me, giving me updates of the situation of this permit that they need to obtain. I would like to request another 28 extension. On the last contact that I have with Michael yesterday, they decided to remove the fence that was installed without permit. And I would like to request an extension to give him the opportunity to remove it. He said that by the end of the month, this will happen. So I'm requesting 28 days extension and $50 per day thereafter if they don't do what they said they're gonna do.
Okay. Mr. Ahio,
Yes, ma'am.
has he been sworn? He's been sworn?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Are you in agreement with the 28-day extension?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
You too.
Our next case is on page 3. Property address 705 Southwest, wait a minute, Southwest 22nd Terrace. Owner Sylvia Shope. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, case number CE 2101-0055. Notice posted at the property 4/22/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21. This is a new business case. Hey, why is it taking so long?
Building Inspector Leonardo Martinez presenting case CE 2101-005. Property located at 705 Southwest 22nd Terrace. I visited this property on January 8th, 2020, and observed that new concrete driveway, carport enclosure, new windows and doors, new wooden PVC fence without obtaining the required permits. The property was cited for work without permit under FPC 2017, section 105.1. This case was opened on July 15 of 2020. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on January 8th, 2021. Final notice was mailed to the property owner in February 19, 2021. Notice of hearing was posted at the property on April 22nd of 2021. The owner hired a contractor that applied for permits for the carport conversion, for the wooden fence. The owner been in touch all the time with me. The only permit that they haven't applied is the new concrete driveway, but everything else is in process, Your Honor. We are asking Your Honor to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 91 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
Hi, Ms. Schultz, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Schock, are you in agreement with the city's recommendation of 91 days to bring the property into compliance by obtaining the permit?
Yes, thank you so much for giving me the time because the inspector explained we tried to fix the old violation we have on the house, but we had problem with the contractor and he didn't do the whole job he has to do. And well, we take it out to violations. Maybe the inspector have this detail, but we try to fix. We are working on this.
Okay.
I would like to add that I did an inspection a couple of days ago, and they removed the high hats that they installed on the porch, on the front porch, and they also removed a mini split that was part of the violation since the beginning. They're really trying to comply, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I think you're on your way. Sometimes contractors don't do what they're supposed to do. So you should have plenty of time with 91 days to finish the job. And we appreciate your diligence and you improving your property.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 3. Property address 1311 Seminole Drive. Inspector Jose Salagusti. Owner Leaf Danielson, case number BE 2005034. Notice posted at the property 5321, posted at City Hall 5621. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presented the case as read. The permit were left to expire and as stated in today's agenda, the city is asking the owner to come in compliance within the next 42 days or fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Good morning. Can you please state your name for the
Yeah,
record?
Antonio De Lorenzo.
Okay. Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance
Uh,
by obtaining the permit within 42 days?
I already have the permits. They were expired.
Well, you have to renew them.
Well, the problem is that I'm the management company. They're in Sweden and there were no travel to come over here. That was the whole situation going on because
Okay.
of COVID.
Okay.
They're still under no travel to the United States. But they're sending me paperwork so we could just reapply for a permit, reinstate the permit.
Okay.
And the window ones, we did them all. We got several inspections, but then we got hit with that little tropical storm thing that came and removed the stickers. So now we gotta break the wall so they could see the city of Miami, anyway,
Okay.
that's about all we got there. We did not do anything to the dock as of now. Zero has been done to the dock.
Okay. So you're gonna have to,
I don't really gotta redo that one because we haven't done anything to it.
okay, you're not gonna renew.
We can't
yeah,
right
well,
now.
You have to either close the permit, right?
It's expired, so really, it's closed.
It's
already.
expired.
Expired isn't closed.
Yeah, there's a different definition for
Okay.
expired and closed.
Well,
Can you explain to him what he?
I'll
needs
reinstate
to-
them all. I'll reinstate them all.
Okay, all right, 42 days or $50 a day.
Can we have a little bit more than that?
Pardon me?
Can we have a little bit more than that?
We can give him 53 days.
Because I'll be
63,
here in September. September 6th.
well, is somebody here have the authority to renew these
I
permits?
have to renew them, but the cash will be nice, you know?
Okay, all right, well, 63 days or $50 a
All right,
day
that'll work.
thereafter.
63 will work.
Pardon me?
63 will work.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, at this time, let's take a 10-minute break. We have 3 people online and we need to figure out what they're here for, okay?
Certainly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you can go. Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 1317 Northeast Fourth Ave. Owner Agape Church of God, Inc. Case number BE 200-50382. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $50. Hi, Mr. Pierre.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number as read. This case is not in compliance. The city will request a 63-day extension and the fines to be stopped.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
The city has recommended a 63-day extension and the fines stop during that period. Are you in agreement with that, sir?
I do.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Our next case is on page 9. Property address 4451 Twin Lakes Boulevard. Owner William Shama, I'm sorry. Case number CE 200-60434. This notice posted at the property on 4/30/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21. Hi, Ms. Goldwire, can you please raise your right hand?
I can.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. Construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits consisting of, but not limited to, there's a new tiki hut. I reviewed the case on 5/17/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. City will request 42 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Ms. Goldwire,
Yes, ma'am.
are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance by getting the permit within 42 days?
We absolutely are.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, thank you.
50.
Our next case is on page 9 as well. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. No, it's not. My apologies. Our next case is on page 10. Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 943 Northwest 14th Street. Owner Causley M. Cotain. Case number CE 201-20615. Notice posted at the property on 4/30/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21. Hi, Ms. Cotain, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Oh, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of, but not limited to, new roof. I reviewed the case on 5/17/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. City will request 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Ms. Cotain,
Yes.
good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Are you willing to bring the property into compliance within 35 days by obtaining that permit?
Yes. I only have one question for the inspector.
Sure.
We wasn't aware that there's no, because what he thought he could do he was doing a repair to the roof, but he didn't know that the city of Fort Lauderdale no longer allows owner builder repairs to the roof. Is that true?
No, they can do the repair if it's less than 25% of the roof.
Okay, so he didn't do the entire roof. The entire roof wasn't completed.
Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna double check the work that was done.
Mhm.
So let's withdraw the
Because
case.
I went to turn it, when he advised me that you came over and he received these letters, I went to the building department to turn in the application. I have everything here, that I did attempt to do the permit, but then that's when they stated to me that you guys, the city of Fort Lauderdale does not allow owner builder permit. So I did attempt to, solve this issue prior to today.
Okay, all right.
Your Honor, Chief George Oliva for the city. As you can see on the deck of the roof on the pictures, they were doing a structural work beside roof repair, and that structural work to the rafters on the roof does require an engineer prescribed repair through a permit. So it does require a permit, even if less than 25%, or if less than 1,500, all those rafters that you can see in the picture, they're brand new, those requires permit and requires an engineer to design the law on it.
Okay, do you understand, Ms. Courtine?
No. Are you speaking in reference to the two boards that was replaced?
Yes, ma'am. What you call the ball, those are structurally supporting the roof deck. And those require an engineer design and a prescribed repair from the engineer. That will require a permit even if you change two of them, and you have more than two there. So yes, you do require a permit. Another thing, the roof deck, like I say, if it's less than 25%, you don't require a permit for the repair on the roof deck, but not on the rafter. So everything gonna have to be permitted, including the roof.
Okay, no, I don't have a problem with doing a permit. My question was, I can't do owner builder.
That will be
Because
up
I
to-
attempted to do the permit. I have everything here. Like I went to turn it in. I have everything, you see? I did attempt to do the permit. It's not a problem with doing the permit. The problem would be,
I get it, but do you include the replacement of the roof rafters?
yes.
Because that part requires an engineer sign and seal document. So that one, that's probably what you were turned back. But like I say, you need
No,
to
they
have-
told me that you guys, I'm sorry to cut you off. They told me that we're not allowed to do any part of the roof without owner builder.
I believe it's already been said that you can do up to 25% of it as an owner,
Okay.
okay? So,
Okay.
but you're gonna need an engineer to sign off on the rafter work. Okay,
Okay.
so you're gonna need a permit for that,
Okay.
all right?
Okay, no problem. So can you advise the people in the young ladies inside the building department? Because, I have all of those documentations.
Well, does the inspector need to go out there and determine if it's 25% or more that they're working on?
No.
No, ma'am, because once she removed the rafters, now that's the whole roof has to be permitted again. It has to be inspected. There are straps that have to be placed on location to support uplift and high winds. And I don't even see one single strap there. So
Okay.
yeah, the whole roof has to be probably done by a general contractor. I don't believe they're gonna give her the owner building permit. But she always can go and talk to Mr. Blanco. He's the assistant building official, City of Fort Lauderdale, and he's the one that runs the intake of permitting. And if we make a determination that he would take the owner permit, she will be able to do so. But right now, the way I see it, there's a lot of work under the deck that will require inspections and engineering.
Okay, and can you repeat the name of the person you stated that I should speak with? Blanco?
Victor Blanco.
Victor Blanco, okay.
Yeah, Assistant Building Official Victor Blanco. He's in charge of the permit intake for the city of Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Give her a little more time to do this. What do you think?
63 days.
All right, we're gonna give you 63 days or $50 a day thereafter. That should give you plenty of time to work all this out.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you so much.
Hi, Mr. Ron Surin. Can you let us know what case you're here for, please?
On case number B as in boy, E echo 200-40363.
25?
Hello?
Yes, one moment, please.
Thank you.
25. Okay. Okay, Mr. Cern, we need to see your ID, please.
I have my ID in the car. Hold on.
Yes, we need your ID in order for you to speak at today's proceedings. Go ahead and start your camera, please. Your video.
Hello?
Hi, you can go ahead and start your video, please.
Your Honor, Mr. Stern just went to get his ID. It will take him 20 seconds.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead and read in the case. Our next case. is on page-
He's back.
Okay, one moment, please. Our next case is on page 25. Property address 480 Northeast 13th Street. Owner, Law Offices of Champaign and Surin, PA. Case number BE 2004-0363. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/22/21. One section not complied at $50. Hi, Mr. Soren, can you hold your ID up, please? So I can see it, hold it up to the camera. A little closer, please. Okay, thank you. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number as read. This case is not in compliance. It is the position of the city that fines to be imposed.
I'm sorry, say that again.
For the fines to be imposed.
Okay. Mr. Soren,
Yes, Your Honor.
it's my understanding that the case is now complied, but it was out of compliance for 27 days. And the fine accrued is $1,350, which they're asking me to impose.
So, no, it's not in
Oh, I
compliance.
thought you said it was in compliance. I'm sorry. Okay, it's still not in compliance. Why is it not in compliance?
Thank you, Your Honor, for the opportunity to address this. We have had installed the light several years ago. It was inspected and it's our belief that it was approved. Several years later, we find out the inspection did not pass inspection. When we contacted our contractor and he was not available, upon several attempts, and we Caesar Electric, we find out that he has recently passed. So we made the effort to get a new contractor, which is Clean Power Electric. And unfortunately, we were misled by them. In fact, they even advised us that it was not necessary to attend this hearing today because they've been in contact with the city. All that is needed to be done is to reopen the permit and then to have the property re-inspected, the lighting re-inspected, and to close the case. Unfortunately, that contractor had left us down. So all we need is an opportunity to return a different contractor so we can comply with the submit. I tried to submit the permit. The city informed me that I could not do it myself. It must be done by a contractor, a licensed contractor.
Okay, all right. How much time I'm inclined to give him a little more
Yeah.
time. You think?
35 days should be enough. 35 days should be enough. 35.
35, okay. I don't know why.
All right, so we would agree and abide by the 35 days extension, Your Honor. We thank you, officer, and we appreciate your help.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Your Honor, that concludes all of our respondents. Going back to page 1. Property address 2437 Sugarloaf Lane. Owner Myron R. and Margie L. Crawford. Case number BE 21020051. Inspector Jorge Martinez. Notice posted at the property 4/23/21. Posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: new dock being installed. I reviewed the case on 5/18/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 42 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 2, property address 804 Southwest Second Court. Owner 800 Hotel LLC. Inspector Alejandro Del Rio. Case number CE 21010342. Notice posted at the property 4/30/21. Posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Good morning, Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio for the city, presenting case as read. There was work without permit done at this property. Property was cited for FBC 2020-105.1. The work done, it's an exterior electrical panel, a gazebo, and a fence. Some of the permit was already applied for, but the electrical permit hasn't been applied for. City's requesting 91 days to comply or $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Property address 1215 Northeast 13th Ave. Owner Kevin J. Brown and Timothy J. Moffitt. Case number BE 200700181. Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Notice posted at the property 4/30/21. Posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Building Inspector Leonardo Martinez presenting case BE 2007-0181, property located at 1215 Northeast 13th Ave. I visited this property on July 15, 2020, and observed new windows and doors, opening enclosures, a stucco over wire lath, sprinkler system, new sprinkler pump, new AC units, new interior hi-hats, new kitchen, all this installed without first obtaining the required permits. The property was cited for work without permit under FBC 2017, section 105.1. This case was opened on July 15 of 2020. Inspection report was mailed out to the property owner on May 18 of 2020. The final notice was mailed out to the property owner in September 8th of 2020. Notice of hearing was posted at the property on April 20 of 2021. Timothy, the owner, had applied and obtained almost all the permits, but is still missing the sprinklers and the sprinkler pump. He's looking forward to apply for it as per our last conversation on May 13 of 2021. We are asking your owner to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 35 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
At the bottom of page 2, property address 4 Pelican Drive. Case number BE 210-20020. Owner Sandowski Fam Trust. Sandowski Pamela and J. Sandowski trustee. Notice posted at the property 4/23/21. Posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Building Inspector Leonardo Martinez presenting case B 2102-0020, property located at 4 Pelican Drive. I visited this property on February 8th of 2021, and it appears to be occupied. I saw curtains on the windows, delivery package by the entrance, and furniture throughout the windows. Also, the trash bin was out. Parked in front of the house, the captain of the boat anchored in the dock of the property confirmed that the owner was living at the house. The permit to build this property was issued on June 15, 2010, and we are on 2021. The property was cited for being occupied without the certificate of occupancy. Section FBC 2017, section 111.1.1. After that, I have visited Mr. Sandowski, who is the owner, and I have been in contact with the architect, Mr. Dobos, working toward compliance, but the property remains without certificate of occupancy. This case was opened on February 8th of 2021. Final notice was mailed out to the property owner in March 15th of 2021. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on April 26th of 2021. We are asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 91 days to come into compliance, obtain a certificate of occupancy or vacate the property, or a fine of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 3, Inspector Jose Saragusi, property address 2100 South Ocean Lane, number 1508, case number BE 200-60196, owner Bertha and Sophie Lamercy. Notice posted at the property on 5/4/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presented the case as read. Permit were left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The city is asking the owner to come in compliance within the next 42 days or fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case at the bottom of page 3, property address 2726 Davie Boulevard, owner La Segunda Realty Corp., case number BE 200-60319. Notice posted at the property 5/4/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. Permit were left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The city is asking the owner to come in compliance within the next 42 days or fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Page 4 at the top, property address 2841 North Ocean Boulevard, number 1801, case number BE 200-70037, owner Antonella Cerruti. Notice posted at property on 5/3/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. Permit were left to expire as stated in the agenda. The city is asking the owner to come in compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 3391 Northwest 63rd Street, case number BE 200-70269, owner Ludencia Siskai, I'm not sure. Notice posted at the property 5/3/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. Permit were left to expire as stated in today's agenda. The city is asking the owner to come in compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Page 5 at the top, property address 222 Northwest 22nd Avenue, Inspector Alexander Obores, case number BE 210-30091, owner TIITF HRS-U Serve REG Juvenile Detention Center. Notice posted at the property 5/3/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Good morning. The case is closed.
The case is closed?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Property address 515 Northeast 4th Street, owner 515 Inc. Case number BE 210-10006. Notice posted at the property on 4/30/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Alexander Labores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. I initially visited this single-family residence property on December 29, 2020, and met with Mr. David Kardashi, who identified himself as owner of the property and tenant business owner of adjacent property, Rhythms and Vine, located at 401 Northeast Fifth Terrace. During this inspection, I found there was a portable storage container unit in the rear west side of the property and approximately 14 tables, photos attached. In addition, I found multiple electrical outlets around the yard and next to the portable storage unit. Owner informed me that the storage container unit is used by vendors during events, and the tables are for a seating area that is being used as an extension of adjacent property for during special events. Records show no permit application for electrical work, storage container, or change of use to assembly. The property was cited for the following violations. Violation of 47-19-2.II.2.c for portable storage units without permit. Violation of FPC Section 105.1, work without permit for the electrical work, and violation of FPC 111.1.1, use and occupancy. This case was opened on January 6, 2021. Inspection report mailed to the property owner January 26, 2021, with 30 days to get into compliance. As of May 17, records show no permit application. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 6. Property address 1451 North Federal Highway. Owner BH Plaza Del Mar LLC. Case number BE 210-30049. Notice posted at the property 5521. Posted at City Hall 5621.
Alexander Labores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number BE 21030049, address 1451 North Federal Highway. The backflow prevention device has not been recertified. The city is asking under City Ordinance 28-155A for the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is at the bottom of page 6. Property address 1312 East Los Olas Boulevard. Owner Beth W. Gordon, Revocable Livable Trust. Beth W. Gordon trustee, case number BE 210-30084. Notice posted at the property 4/30/21, posted at City Hall 5621.
Alexander Labores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address is read. I initially visited this property on March 22nd, 2021 to investigate a work without permit complaint. During this inspection, I found that 2 wood floor decks had been built. Records show no permit application for this work. The property was cited for work without permit, FPC 2020, Section 105.1. The case was opened March 17, 2021. Inspection report mailed to the property owner March 23rd, 2021, with 30 days to get into compliance. As of May 17, 2021, records show no permit application. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violations exist and grant property owner 42 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is at the top of page 7. Property address 1020 Northwest 23rd Ave. Owner Public Storage Prop 4 Limited Department PT-FL. Case number BE 21030089. Notice posted at the property on 4/30/21. Posted at City Hall 5621.
Inspector Alvarez, for the city, presenting case number and address is read. The backflow prevention device has not been recertified. The city is asking under City Ordinance 28-155.A for the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 1748 Northwest 29th Way. Owner James Poole, case number CE 200711328. Notice posted at the property on 4/30/21. Posted at City Hall 5621.
Alexander Arbores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. I initially visited this property on August 3rd, 2020 with Inspector Leonardo Martinez to investigate a work without permit complaint. During this inspection, we were not able to make contact with anyone. After performing additional research and comparing BCFA photographs records, I found that south exterior wall has been altered, new windows and door openings created, and new windows and doors installed. Property was cited for work without permit, FPC, section 105.1. Case was opened July 30, 2020. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on August 6, 2020, with 30 days to get into compliance. Final notice mailed March 8, 2021. As of May 17, 2021, records show no permit application. City is requesting for the magistrate to find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 91 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
At the bottom of page 7, property address 1220 Northwest 7 Terrace, owner Tawanda Johnson, case number BE 200503552. Notice posted at the property on 4/28/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21. Inspector Jorge Martinez.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda, and as of 5/17/2021 remain expired. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 8, property address 1350 River Reach Drive, number 414, case number BE 200503993. Owner Afiz Akandi. Notice posted at property on 4/28/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda, and as of 5/17/2021 remain expired. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 1533 Southwest 20th Ave, case number BE 200600041. Owner John J. Malik. Notice posted at the property on 4/23/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda, and as of 5/17/2021 remain expired. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 1606 Northwest 14th Court, case number BE 200600065. Owner Logicorp Enterprises, Inc. Notice posted at the property on 4/28/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda, and as of 5/17/2021 remain expired. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 1731 Southeast 15th Street, number 613, case number BE 200600094. Owner John Weiner, Revocable Trust, John Weiner trustee. Notice posted at the property on 4/28/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda, and as of 5/17/2021 remain expired. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case, property address 1775 North Andrews Square, number 103W, case number BE 200600114. Owner Greg A. Mize. Notice posted at the property 5/4/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda, and as of 5/17/2021 remain expired. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 42 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving over to page 9, property address 841 Arizona Ave. Owner Peter R. and Vicente Carvalho. Case number CE 201-00174. Notice posted at the property 4/23/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
There is construction work at this property. Inspector Martinez on behalf of the city presenting case as read. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits consisting of but not limited to enclosure of carport. I reviewed the case on 5/17/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 91 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 10, property address 6988 Northwest 30th Ave. Owner Lillian Rose Piccolo. Case number CE 2101-0528. Notice posted at the property on 5/4/21. Posted at City Hall on 5/6/21.
Inspector Martinez on behalf of the city presenting case as read. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits consisting of but not limited to, there's a new fence. I reviewed the case on 5/17/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 42 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 11. Property address 3340 Northeast 32nd Street. Owner Edna B. Rella LLC. Case number BE 200400198. Notice posted at the property 4/29/21. Posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez, presenting on behalf of Chief Oliva. Case number and address as read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 13. Property address 223 Southwest 28th Street. Owner Manning Capital Holding LLC. Case number BE 2005037. Notice posted at the property on 4/30/21. Posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address as read. The required 40 or 10 years safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case on page 13, property address 2731 Northwest 19th Street. Case number BE 200503336. Owner Wesley H. Johnson. Notice posted at the property 4/29/21. Posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Alvarez, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The report was submitted but failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case at the bottom of page 13, property address 4 Northwest 7th Street. Owner Levy Fort Lauderdale Holding LLC. Case number BE 200503337. Notice posted at the property on 4/29/21. Posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address as read. The required 40 or 10 years safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
1 second. Our next case is on page 14. Property address 612 Northwest 9th Ave. owner Provident Fort Lauderdale LLC, case number BE 200503772. Notice posted at the property on 4/29/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Alvarez, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The report was submitted but failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 15 at the bottom. Property address 3214 West Broad Boulevard, owner A&M Investments of America LLC, case number BE 200500412. Notice posted at the property on 4/29/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Enforcement Officer Rich presenting on behalf of Chief Oliva. Case and address are as read. The required 40 or 10 years safety inspection has not been approved. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 16, property address 1302 East Las Olas Boulevard, case number BE 2005042. Owner First Presbyterian Church of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Inc. Notice posted at the property on 5/3/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Officer Rich presenting on behalf of Chief Oliva. Case and address are as read. The required 40 or 10 year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 16 at the bottom, property address 3561 West Davie Boulevard, owner Tropical Treasure LC, case number BE 200600031. Notice posted at the property on 4/29/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Officer Rich presenting on behalf of Chief Building Official George Oliva. Case and address are as read. The required 40 or 10 year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 18, yep, 18. Property address 608 Southeast 6th Street, owner 614 SFH LLC, case number BE 200600062. Notice posted at the property on 4/30/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Officer Rich presenting on behalf of Chief Building Official George Oliva. Case and address are as read. The required 40 or 10 year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 909 East Las Olas Boulevard, case number BE 200600064. Owner Melchior 915 LLC. Notice posted at the property on 5/3/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Officer Rich presenting on behalf of Chief Oliva. Case and address are as read. The required 40 or 10 year safety inspection report has not been approved. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
At the bottom of page 18, property address 1726 Southeast 3rd Ave, owner Broward House Inc., case number BE 200700074. Notice posted at the property on 4/30/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Alvarez, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The report was submitted but failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 19, property address 1515 Southwest 20th Street, owner CRP LMC RB LLC, case number BE 200700077. Notice posted at the property on 4/30/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Officer Rich presenting on behalf of Chief Oliva. Case and address are as read. The required 40 or 10 year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 20, property address 511 Southeast 32nd Court, owner FLL Business Properties LLC. Case number BE 201-20004. Notice posted at the property on 4/20/21, posted at City Hall 5/6/21.
Inspector Alvarez, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address as read. The report was submitted but failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Opposed. Okay, moving on to page 22. Property address 3300 Northeast 36th Street, number 1209. Owner Carolyn and John Fallon, case number BE 200-70241. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting, city is requested to impose the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Property address 3330 Northwest 69th Street. Owner Home for You Investment Group LLC, case number BE 200-70264. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to reduce to administrative costs of $150.
So ordered.
Property address 3356 Northeast 42nd Court. Owner Sefa Civic. Case number BE 200-70271. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose $22,400, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 23, property address 330 Southwest 29th Ave. Owner Michael Francis Estate. Case number BE 200-40216. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose $2,400, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 24, property address 2555 Northeast 11th Street, number 108. Owner Walter Whalen Revocable Livable Trust. Walter Whalen, case number BE 200-60283. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose $1,750.
So ordered.
Property address 237 City View Drive. Owner John Radiker. Case number BE 200-40173. This case was first heard on 11/10/20 to comply by 12/22/20. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $7,400, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 25, property address 415 Northwest 21st Terrace. Owner Builders Associates 1 LLC. Case number BE 200-40310. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to reduce the fines to $275.
So ordered.
Property address 528 North Birch Road. Owner Birch Road LLC. Case number BE 200-40445. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting the full amount of $1,250.
So ordered.
26 at the top. Did we do that one? Okay.
No.
Property address 1000 Northeast 4th Ave. owner Home Depot USA Inc. in care of Prop Tax Department, case number BE 200-50211. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/1/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Your Honor, at this time, we would like to have the cases that are listed on page 27 into the record as closed, complied, or withdrawn.
So ordered.
Thank you. This
Thank you
concludes
all.
our May 20th, 2021 special magistrate hearing for building. Thank you. Have a great day.